All right, let's talk about transforming the way you study. I mean, really transforming it. We're going to forget the whole idea of grinding for hours and hours. Instead, we're going to dive into some science-backed strategies that actually make learning stick, so you can study smarter, not harder.
You know the feeling, right? You spend hours with your textbooks, you've got highlighters in 3 different colors, the page is practically glowing, only to realize a week later that, poof, it's not gone. If you've ever felt like you're putting in all this work for basically nothing, trust me, you are not alone. It's a super common struggle, and it often leads to a much bigger problem.
And that problem? It has a name: academic burnout. Now, this isn't just about feeling a little tired after a long study session. We're talking about a deep, genuine state of exhaustion, emotionally, mentally, and physically, that comes from that constant, intense academic pressure. It's what happens when that gap between how hard you're working and the results you're getting just becomes way too big.
And the symptoms are really no joke. I mean, it's that constant feeling of being completely drained, like your personal battery is always stuck at 10%. You might even lose your passion for subjects you used to actually enjoy, and you see your grades slipping no matter how much effort you put in. It all leads to feeling irritable, frustrated, and you might even get physical stuff like headaches. It's a massive red flag that the way we're studying isn't just inefficient, it's completely unsustainable.
So what's really going on here? What's the scientific reason behind this frustrating cycle of work and forget? Well, it's a concept known as the forgetting curve. It was first figured out by a psychologist way back when, and it basically shows that our memory for new information drops off a cliff over time unless we do something specific to stop it.
So this brings us to the solution. Most of us, and I've been guilty of this too, we default to what's called passive learning. Rereading our notes, highlighting stuff, maybe just watching a lecture video. These things feel productive, right? But they don't actually take a lot of mental effort. The scientific answer is active learning. This is stuff that requires more brain power, like explaining a concept out loud, quizzing yourself with flashcards, or doing practice questions. Yeah, it feels harder, but that's because it's so much more effective.
And the absolute champion of active learning is a technique called active recall. Here's the best way to think about it. Passive review is like watching someone else lift weights at the gym. Active recall is you actually picking up the weights and doing the reps. It is the effort of pulling information out of your brain that builds those strong memory muscles. It's a real workout for your mind.
And the science on this is crystal clear. Check this out. In one study, they had people try to remember names at a fake party. The group that just passively reviewed the names, they remembered about 29%. But the group that used active recall, a whopping 57%. They remembered nearly double the names. I mean, that's the difference between barely passing and getting an A, just by changing up your study technique.
Now, as amazing as active recall is, it's even better when it's not working alone. To really, truly beat that forgetting curve, it has a secret weapon, a very powerful partner.
And that partner is spaced repetition. This is all about timing. It's brilliant. Instead of cramming all your studying into one night, you review the information at specific, increasing intervals of time. You're basically catching the memory right as it's about to fade away. Each time you do that, you push the forgetting curve further and further out, making the memory stronger and more permanent.
So how do you actually do this? A super simple and really effective way to start is the 2-3-5-7 method. After you learn something for the first time, you do an active recall session 2 days later. Then you do another one 3 days after that, then 5 days later, and a final one 7 days after that. This whole schedule is designed to hit your brain at the perfect moments to interrupt the forgetting process and lock that information in.
And the best part is, you don't need any fancy equipment to do this. We're talking about good old-fashioned flashcards, hunting down practice questions, or even just explaining a concept out loud to a friend. Or hey, even a rubber duck on your desk works. Seriously. There are also some fantastic apps out there like Anki that basically automate the whole spacing schedule for you. The key thing is just to make retrieving that information an active, effortful process.
So why do these things work so well? Well, it's because they're not just random tricks. They're perfectly in sync with how our brains are actually built to learn. And a massive, and I mean massive part of that whole process happens when we're not even awake. That's right, it happens when you sleep.
I absolutely love this metaphor. Sleep isn't just your brain shutting down for the night. Think of it as the night shift. It's when your brain's librarian comes in and starts organizing all the information you took in during the day. It's sorting through everything, deciding what's important enough to keep, strengthening those connections, and basically getting the library ready for the next day.
And if we look a little deeper, scientists tell us our sleep happens in cycles.
During deep sleep, or what's called non-REM sleep, your brain is busy filing away all those facts and concepts, historical dates, formulas, things you'd find on a test. Then, during REM sleep, the dream stage, it's working on skills, like how to play the piano, and also processing emotions. You need both stages to really make learning stick.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's that pulling an all-nighter before a big test is literally one of the worst things you can possibly do for your memory. That sleep you're skipping is the exact process your brain needs to solidify everything you just spent hours studying. So let's be clear, a good night's sleep isn't a luxury. It is a non-negotiable, absolutely critical part of learning.
Okay, so we've got the toolkit now. Active recall, spaced repetition, good sleep. Awesome. But, and this is a really big but, just knowing these techniques isn't where the magic happens. The real, lasting transformation comes from something deeper. It comes from a fundamental change in your mindset.
You see, there are two ways to approach habits. Most of us focus on outcomes, like, I want to pass this exam. The problem is, as soon as you pass it, the motivation just disappears. A much more powerful way is to focus on your identity. Instead of, I want to pass, think, I am a diligent student. Here, the focus isn't just on the goal, it's on becoming the kind of person who achieves those goals, and your actions just naturally follow.
The author James Clear put it perfectly. It's a feedback loop. Every single time you do a habit, like using a flashcard instead of just rereading, you're casting a vote for the type of person you want to be. And as you start to actually believe in that new identity, choosing the right habits gets easier and easier. It becomes automatic.
And here's how you can actually do it. It's a simple process. First, just decide, what kind of person do you want to be? A lifelong learner? A focused student? Then you have to prove it to yourself with tiny, small wins. Start with an action that's so easy you literally can't say no to, like reviewing just one flashcard or reading just one page of a chapter. The goal here is not intensity. It's all about consistency, building up that evidence for your new identity, one small action at a time.
So when you really think about it, studying smarter isn't just about being more efficient. It's about deciding who you want to be. Every time you choose to actively recall something instead of passively reading it, every time you schedule your reviews, you are casting a vote. So I'll leave you with this to think about. With your very next study session, who are you voting to become?